For nearly all of this year's World Rally Championship season so far, all talk has been mainly focused around the future of the series. And even when that chatter isn't about that, it's been heavily focused on Hyundai and Toyota, especially since their drivers are the ones in the fight for the championship title. As a result, it means that M Sport has essentially been operating almost anonymously so far this season. It can often be the forgotten team, especially since it's not been at a point where either of its drivers have been battling for outright victory on a rally. But despite that, for one of its drivers it's very easy to argue that they are having the best season of their WRC career. Adrien Fourmaux has really stepped up to the plate this year, and although he's yet to win an event, he's already marking himself out as one of the stars of the season. And in this video we take a look at how he's got himself into that position. As soon as Fourmaux made his WRC debut, everyone could see that the M Sport driver possessed plenty of talent and bags of potential. He was really quick out of the blocks, finishing 5th on his top class debut on the 2021 Croatia Rally, and he quickly backed that up with a 6th place at the following event in Portugal, which was on an entirely different surface. He immediately grabbed everyone's attention, especially when he took another top 5 finish at that season's Safari Rally Kenya. But in the latter stages of the year, he started to run into issues, finishing 16th in Spain after crashing into a barrier that caused a puncture, before subsequently rolling his Fiesta on Special Stage 3 of Rally Monza. 2022 was meant to be a chance to reset, but instead Fourmaux tried too hard, and it resulted in him having 3 retirements in the first 3 events of the year. In the end, the situation got so bad that M Sport withdrew Fourmaux from 3 of the 4 final rallies, and then dropped him from its Rally 1 lineup for the 2023 season. Returning to WRC2 last year, it gave Fourmaux a chance to rediscover his pace without too much pressure. And combining WRC2 duties with the British Rally Championship, it also enabled him to return to winning ways. And M Sport's approach to that situation seems to have paid dividends. So far this year, Fourmaux has looked like a more well-rounded, more complete driver. He might not have spent every rally fighting at the top, but the fact he's already grabbed 2 podiums shows the difference. His driving is far more relaxed than that of 2022, and it's showing. He's making mistakes far less frequently, and seems to have learnt the art of deciding when to push on a stage and when to be more conservative. Even last time out in Portugal, on a rally where road order and the surface itself can be challenging, Fourmaux picked the right moments to push at the right time. That approach meant he was able to take a stage win on Special Stage 18, and it also enabled him to finish the rally a credible 4th overall. And ironing out those mistakes is the key. Everyone knew he had the talent, but in the past he was rarely able to show it because he was making too many errors. And now he's ironing these errors out, his potential is beginning to really shine through. Pressure can have a massive effect on a driver, and with M Sport being in the position it currently is, it knows that the chances of it realistically being able to fight for the World Championship this year are slim to say the least. And in some ways that's a good thing for Fourmaux. It doesn't mean he can't go out there and win, but the pressure of believing he has to win or get a podium in order for a rally to have been a success isn't there. That means he can remain relaxed and tackle the rallies naturally, rather than dragging along additional psychological weight. And we're seeing that now in Fourmaux's driving. You can see in the way he's tackling the stages that he's driving with more freedom, with less tension, and that's allowing him to keep the Hyundais and Toyotas of Thierry Neuville, Ott Tanak, Elfyn Evans, Sébastien Ogier and the likes in his sights. As it currently stands, Fourmaux sits 4th in the WRC drivers' standings right now, having dropped from 3rd after Portugal, with Hyundai's Ott Tanak getting the jump on him after a 2nd place finish. But the gap between the pair is only 8 points, something that would have felt very unlikely before the season began. Realistically, where Fourmaux is right now, 4th in the championship standings has to be the aim for him this year, but it would also be foolish to completely rule him out of finishing in the top 3. Everyone expected Tanak to be well and truly in the hunt for the championship this year, after returning to Hyundai from M Sport, but it hasn't really turned out that way. Instead, up until Portugal, he'd been somewhat anonymous, and Sardinia will help in establishing whether he has now unlocked real pace in the i20N Rally 1, or if his Portugal pace was a one-off. And if it was a one-off, then there's every chance that Fourmaux could find himself in a tight battle for third all year long. That has to be the realistic dream at the moment, and it would be great if he manages to pull it off. But putting the championship aside for 1 second, he just has to keep doing what he's doing. If he approaches the remaining events in the same way he's approached the first half, he really will be flying by the time the championship reaches Japan, and many will be questioning just how much further he can grow. He has the pace, he has the talent, but does that amount to championship winning potential? It's too early to say right now, but we might have a better indication at the end of the year.